Okay, so starting a new series, 5 for fairly familiar figures, 5 minutes for figures from Tanakh that maybe we know a little bit or we've heard of, but we don't necessarily know so much about. We'll try to go in order of the Aleph base. We'll start today with Avner. Avner ben Ner. Ner was actually the uncle of Shaul HaMelech. So Avner and Shaul were first cousins. It's good to keep it in the family, right? So Avner is Shaul's general and right-hand man, and later we'll see he was really the strength behind the throne of Ishbosheth, who was the remaining son of Shaul. Avner, we first get on the scene, we first see Avner introducing David to Shaul, right? Sort of a fateful, shadchan. He introduces him after David slays Goliath, which seems to be a strange, introduction, because David Shaul should already know David from before, but at any rate, we see like he to sort of an introduction. We know that Avner sat in the seat of honor right next to Shaul when they would meet at the sort of king's court. So clearly, Avner was one of the top people in the country, and we see that Avner accompanies Shaul some of the times when Shaul's chasing David. Right? David is close with Shaul, and then Shaul becomes jealous of David, and Shaul ends up chasing David around the land of Israel. And we see at least one time that Avner is with Shaul, and in fact, David calls out Avner for being a poor general, having lacked security. How can you let me get into the camp? What kind of nonsense, what kind of job are you doing over here? Because David had a close proximity to Shaul, but does not kill him. So at any rate, he calls Avner out for not keeping Shaul safe. After Shaul is killed in battle, Avner makes Ishbosheth, the only surviving son, really king over Israel, the tribes of Israel. All the Yehuda is with David. And Avner, as the general, leads his army against Yoav, who is David's general. Ultimately, Avner's army is defeated, and Avner is on the run. Yoav's younger brother, Asahel, pursues Avner. He was very fast, and Avner basically tells him to stay away from me because I don't want to have to hurt you. How will I face Yoav? Even though it's like they're opposing generals, but there's an interesting, this is Jew against Jew here. It's a different type of thing, and Avner basically says to him, don't stay away from me. But Asahel keeps chasing after him. Avner is forced in defense to kill Asahel. And ultimately, Avner escapes. They sort of fight to a stalemate, and the armies get away. Later, Avner switches loyalties to David over an accusation that Ishbosheth makes an accusation saying that Avner had taken a concubine of Shaul's, which, and that was also symbolic of trying to take over the throne. So Avner gets really mad at Ishbosheth. After everything I've done for your family and your father's family, basically he says, forget you, I'm done. Leaves Ishbosheth speechless, and he goes over to David HaMelech, and he goes over to King David, and King David says, okay, I'll accept you as long as you bring me back my wife Michal, I'd been married to, who was the daughter of Shaul. Bring her back to me. So Avner does that. He brings back Michal, and Avner helps David to win over the tribe of Binyamin and really to influence. He promises he'll influence all the tribes of Israel. David gives Avner a guarantee of safety. However, Yoav returns, and he hears about how Avner has joined with David, and either out of jealousy that Avner now will sort of take his place as general, and also because of the enmity that he has with him over murder of his brother, or the death of his brother, not really murder, self-defense death of his brother Asahel, he tricks Avner into coming to talk with him, and Yoav kills Avner. He stabs him to death, and David is shocked, and he buries Avner with great honor, and he eulogizes him, and he fasts. And the people of Israel believed that David was being honest, and they did not blame him for his death. David does not punish Yoav, but during his lifetime, but he gives instructions to his son Shlomo. He says, don't let Yoav for this and for other sins. His hands are bloody. He doesn't deserve to go down to the grave, without being brought down through blood. And Shlomo arranges it so that Yoav ultimately ends up being punished with his life. Finally, when Ishbosheth, the son of Shaul, who took over as king, when he is also murdered, not against David's wishes, his head, which is cut off and brought to David, his head is buried in the burial place of Avner. So sort of bringing these two, Avner, who was his general and leader, Ishbosheth's head is buried along with Avner. Okay.